Have you ever been in a conversation and someone mentions a special interest that you want to talk about?
Non-stop?
But it's just a little too off topic.
Perhaps there's a random subject someone mentions in passing that you really just want to learn a little more about.
Or maybe you want to listen to some of your favorite podcasters cross over and cover something offbeat and completely unrelated to the podcast they're currently hosting.
Introducing Glitterjaw Presents, a variety podcast feed from the hosts you know,
With plenty of friends along the way.
Each Glitterjaw Presents episode will feature at least one host from a Glitterjaw show,
Covering a topic that may not be related to the shows that they host.
Or any of the Glitterjaw shows currently on our roster.
These will be standalone episodes,
Miniseries,
Odd experiments
And other special presentations on topics ranging
from music
to reality TV
to conversations about the queer media that shaped us.
and so much more.
no matter what the topic, you can expect the same quality from all of your favorite queer podcasters.
and some guests.
Talking about the things they're passionate about.
If that sounds interesting to you, make sure you subscribe to the Glitterjaw Presents feed wherever you get your podcasts.
And follow Glitterjaw on Instagram and Blue Sky to be alerted when new episodes drop.
Glitterjaw.
Glitterjaw.
Glitterjaw presents.
Hey, Mr. Tux. Why aren't you guys dressed?
We have a half hour.
No, 4 minutes ago you had a half hour. We have to be out the door at 20 to 8.
Relax, Ross. We'll be ready. It only takes us 2 minutes to get dressed.
But you know, I'd feel a whole lot better if you got dressed now.
Okay.
Hey! Oh, look at you, all sexy.
Really?
Oh. Wow.
You're pretty close, huh? Huh? Makeup's on, hair's done.
Yeah, I just have to get dressed.
Yay. And that takes what, just 6 or 7 minutes?
Yeah, once I figure out what I'm wearing.
Welcome to Gimmicks, a podcast about the high-concept, experimental, structure-breaking gimmick episodes of TV. From musicals to noirs to bottle episodes where no one's ready. I'm David Arnold.
I'm Derek B. Gale, and oh my god, my watch with the dinosaur tail is stopped. I only have 7 minutes. And who is with us today?
Oh, it's me. It's Erin Mallory Long. Hi, sorry. I was like so into the intro, I was just like kind of like dazed listening. Erin Mallory Long. I hosted a podcast about Friends, Best of Friends podcast for a very long time. I like to call myself a Friends expert, so.
I love it when we need you here because today we are talking about the sitcom Friends and the episode, The One Where No One's Ready.
Yes, if you're somehow not familiar with this little cult show known as Friends, it's a very well-known sitcom which aired on NBC from September 1994 through May 2004, lasting 10 seasons and 236 episodes. It centers on a group of young adults living in Manhattan in New York City. In addition to being a cultural cornerstone on the turn of the millennium, the series catapulted the careers of its 6 stars, and any person working in an office today is still going to use so many GIFs and references to this show. Erin, obviously, you call yourself a Friends expert, so we'd love to hear what your background and history with this show is.
I pretty much, now, not to, completely just announce my age, but I pretty much started watching it when it started. I was about 9 or 10 when the series began. And I don't remember watching like the pilot or anything like that. I wasn't crazy, but I knew my parents liked it and I thought I would like it. I was very precocious. I loved every sitcom. I was watching every adult sitcom that was on at that time when I was growing up. And I got into Friends so immediately and intensely that I remember by 6th grade, it was everything to me. It was appointment TV the way The Simpsons was. Had to watch it, and it ended when I was a sophomore in college. So it's just such a crazy period of someone's life.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it impacts me in a way that maybe if you were 20 when that show came out, it doesn't have the same thing. But I went from 10 to 20.
Right.
During the course of the show just being on air and now being, 41 and I'm like, this has been like my entire life. My whole life has been like knowing Friends. It is hard after having a podcast about it for so long to like casually go back and watch episodes.
Sure.
You sometimes like get a little, but this was delightful to revisit and probably the episode I know the best.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. One of the big ones to the fandom for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a best of DVD. Like I used to just receive all of these before they started the whole series box sets as the series were coming out on DVDs year by year. I would like receive one season like every year for my birthday and collect them. And they had like a best of Friends, which then became our podcast name, box DVD.
Yep.
And this was one of the episodes on it because it's like, you know, these like great episodes. So I didn't even think about it. And then I'm being like indoctrinated into this. I mean, I pressed play on this episode on HBO and I just said every line along with them.
Yes. Excellent.
It's like, as soon as it starts going, I can just say everything. It's ingrained in my mind in a very upsetting way, but
because that space should be for something, right? And
yeah,
and it's being used for this. So, well, that's what you got.
Yeah, it's like maybe I could have been a doctor with this memory, but no. Instead, I will just watch TV forever.
Darn, if only your fandom had sent around ER, you could have done it, Erin. You could have done it.
I actually started watching ER recently because I love the pit so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I never saw ER. I'm going to go back.
Woo.
So I'm still in season 1.
Rough, though, because I just watched an episode because Julie Bowen was in it, and we were covering Modern Family, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot all about her. I just went back and watched an episode, and wow, Noah Wyle has never been so young in his life as he was in ER.
So young.
Yeah.
So young.
So young.
It's so crazy because I think I thought of him and George Clooney as being the same age.
Yes.
Because they're just like on this show together, and
Right.
it's like, oh, they're in the same class, you know, whatever. Because you're a dum-dum and you're like 10.
Yeah.
And then looking at it now, I'm like, oh my God, he's a child. There is a child.
Yep.
Wait, sorry, just ER for 1 second.
Yeah.
Have you done the gimmick of the live episode?
I think it might actually be
That's
next.
the only
it is-
episode I've ever seen.
Literally next on our schedule is that episode.
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because when that happened, because I was such a Friends fan, it was like anything happened on NBC, I was like
Right.
into it.
Yeah.
Like the Blackout Thursday, like whatever. And so I remember them talking about the live ER, and that was the one episode of ER I ever watched in my life before I started this rewatch.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much. I was like, this is great. But I never kept watching the show for whatever reason.
And now it's available, and you may as well.
Now I'm in.
Derek, what was your experience with the TV show Friends?
Not that interesting. I watched it when it was on, but like very casually. I remember certain things I watched live. Like I watched I remember watching the finale live with the rest of America, stuff like that. But it was not a show that I ever got obsessed with. I think if I had my sitcom obsessions, it was The Simpsons and it was Seinfeld from that time period. And that really was enough to occupy my brain space. I just never really connected with Friends in that way, but I didn't dislike it. I think I was just, you know, I already had my edgy, darker, meaner comedies that I was into, I guess. And I was a big Fox head, like the way that you described, Erin, like watching everything on NBC at a certain point. I was like that with Fox. So I also kind of had that on lock. So I wasn't just watching everything. Like I would watch must-see TV on NBC if I had nothing else going on, but you know, it wasn't go-to. So I don't really have much of a connection to it other than just like the same that any other average person who was existing and couldn't avoid the show at the time does. I know people have like really strong opinions about this show in both directions sometimes. I'm not a hater of it or anything. It's just like, yeah, it's a fun sitcom. It obviously is, like, you can't deny the power of like Lisa Kudrow and everybody else in that cast, you know, so it's a good time.
Yeah, it's just like a hang.
It is.
Yeah,
it is
it's
just
totally
kind of
just
like a hang. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild because I share so much of Erin's history on this. Like I was watching Téa Leoni in Fired Up, or not Fired Up. That was Sharon Lawrence, or whatever Téa Leoni's version of Fired Up was.
What was that called? I used to watch that too. Yeah.
Just,
oh God.
I would try anything that was on NBC, but for some reason, Friends did not click for me when I was a teen. I married into the Friends fandom because God bless my husband, but he got those DVDs. Those were a day one purchase for him. The way I was going to Best Buy for those Simpsons DVDs with just inscrutable menus, Mike was there for Friends DVDs, and it was just constantly on in our house. And it was such a hang, Erin, that I became very invested and into it, and I considered it to be a very good use of time to spend watching these shows. There are excellently written jokes on it. The cast deserves the careers that they all had.
Sure.
Totally.
This is probably the cast I've been most excited to talk about since Modern Family. Like, it just is a very, very exciting thing. And then as part of my own personal history, Erin's podcast, Best of Friends, is one of the first podcasts I ever listened to. And Erin, I mean, I don't know, answer for your crimes. You made me watch Joey. So I was really committed. I even watched the shitty VHS rips from a foreign country that you and your co-host watched, since they were never released in the US until, of course, they just dropped them on YouTube for some reason a year ago.
So wild.
Yeah, now they're here. And I think there are episodes that then I didn't see that are on YouTube. I have not gone and watched them yet.
You're not missing much.
Wait, are you saying that you watched those episodes too, David, recently?
I went back and revisited it because I was like, oh my God, they're on YouTube. And I was like, yeah, I mean, the season 2 does get fun, goofy, because they knew they were canceled. And
sure.
If I was going to recommend some of Joey for Derek to watch, those would be the ones I would pick, because we do love that here when a show is like, fuck it, we're canceled anyway. So let's go.
Totally into that.
Yeah, but I really loved you. You all spent so much time in my ears that I was like, oh my God, if we're going to cover Friends, I've got to reach out and see if Erin's willing to do this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, that's so great. That's so great. That was so fun. It was like, I feel like I barely listened to podcasts when we started doing it. And it was just like a fun thing. It was a hang.
It was a hang.
For me and my friends, like it was like a hang for us, for me and Krista and Jamie. And we just did it for so long. Jamie and I just continued on for so long. I mean, we recorded an episode as recently as like 2021 or something, whenever the reunion came out. And and it was such a great time of my life. Like, so I love doing that show. I love doing it. It was so fun. I love that when people like it. I love when I would get like crazy messages from people who absolutely hated me. Like, I was like, okay, cool.
Wow.
That's how you know you made it, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. There was a lot. Once it was just me and Jamie, who's a guy, since that's Jamie and Erin are both.
Yeah, that's true.
Ambiguous names. Once it was just me and Jamie, and he would get love and I would get hate, I would be like, this is all misogyny.
It is.
Like, this isn't my fault.
That is misogyny.
Yeah.
Like, this is just misogyny. This has nothing to do with me. So then it didn't bother me as much.
Well, I'm glad for that. But I will tell people, if you are looking if you are someone who likes rewatch podcasts, I think the Best of Friends rewatch podcast was a great time. You all were excellent. I loved that you had fans who would like nerd out and send you spreadsheets about the things that you'd say.
Yeah.
And that it's just bonk. It's like math and television collide. I love it.
Yeah, we had a lot of great stuff. Oh, that was so fun.
All right, well, we are talking about Friends today, and we've got to start with the creators on this one. So this one was created by David Crane and Marta Kaufman. They'd already been around in television. They'd already been doing some things, but they originally met in college. They co-directed the show Godspell, and then, as you do in college, we're like, we should write plays and musicals together. And per their own admission, some of them really, really bad, some of them really, really good. But what they really learned from the process is that they can work together. The pair created the sitcom Family Album, which was canceled after airing 6 episodes on CBS, and they decided to abandon what they describe as the stock way of looking at sitcoms, which was based on a family unit. And they said, instead of doing a family sitcom, what if we did something about people who find a family?
Yeah, it is kind of wild to think about a time where that's a novel idea. And it's really fascinating, but like, it does speak to, I know that there's more to it, but it speaks to why shows like Friends and any other shows that came out around it of that time that weren't about a family unit, why they hit so big, because people were seeing something that they'd never seen on TV or seen explored before, and it's like, it sounds kind of obvious because it's like people have had friends since the beginning of time, but like I guess in the particular way that you can watch, especially like 30 somethings who like have their own separate lives, just hanging out, and then the potential for, you know, hookups and, you know, cross-pollination of who romances who, like so much drama can be mined from that. Like it makes so much sense when you think about it, but yeah, it's fascinating that it hadn't really been done until like the 90s.
Yeah, it is so weird. And now it's like you think of that as one of the options a sitcom can be based on, you know? It's like, oh, this one is about Friends. This is New Girl, you know? This one's about an office place. This is, you know, whatever, a workplace.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. Because it seems so obvious. Like, of course you should make a show about Friends. Like, great.
Yes. Yes. And probably not surprising, but they had sort of penned this based on their own experiences in their lives. So Friends, or the many titles that it had before it was Friends, was broadly based on their experiences with their friend group living in New York City.
Makes sense.
They had both worked on a series on HBO called Dream On, which I don't know if either of you have seen. It doesn't rise to the top for me, but I have seen some episodes. And this is where they meet Kevin Bright, and this is going to be the important force that gets them finally sold to NBC, because Kevin Bright, who's going to come on as a producer, is the one who has all these contacts and is navigating all these things. They pitched to all the major networks except for CBS, because a little hurt feelings from Family Album, which also was not good, being passed on. And then President NBC, Warren Littlefield, had passed on a similar project a year ago called Living Single, which was garnering a lot of attention on Fox.
Oh no.
So it's kind of hard to talk about Friends because a lot of people will rightfully point out that it shares a lot of DNA with Living Single, and it feels like theft.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And Living Single is a fantastic show. Fantastic.
Yeah. Which is also why I think it's so funny when people make the Seinfeld comparison, because I mean, I love Seinfeld too, but I'm like, Friends is Living Single.
Thank
it's
you.
not Seinfeld.
No, it's
like,
not Seinfeld.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not hanging, like they're getting into like crazy, you know, like
Yeah, and on Seinfeld they all kind of hate each other. Like Friends, at least ostensibly they are supposed to actually be just friends.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Seinfeld is something else. Like Seinfeld is more, It's Always Sunny is more Seinfeld than Friends has ever been Seinfeld in its life, you know?
Absolutely.
But it is Living Single. That is true.
It is Living Single. Well, and we'll talk about why, because I think their original pitch, which was called Insomnia Cafe, but by the time it was reaching desks, it was called 6 of 1, which is slightly better, but not.
Nope, not a slam dunk. Nope.
I will say that it's a much more distinctive sounding show than what Friends ended up being. And so Littlefield, who was in my mind, I have cast as J. Jonah Jameson, just being like, bring me Living Single. Like I demand Living Single for my network since I passed on it. And in my own autobiography, kind of an idiot. He's asked all of the NBC people on contract to write a version. He hates all of them. Kevin Bright just happens to bring this 6 of 1 series, and he goes, okay, I'll take it, but change this character to this, change this character to this, change this character to this. And the changes Littlefield describes is taking characters that were developed and turning them into Living Single characters.
God.
Joey, for example, wasn't going to be this kind of actor, and that was tweaked based on the character in Living Single. Monica's character was tweaked a little bit to be a little bit more like the character allegory there. It's just... I do think that this was a little bit of theft, but I think that maybe David Crane and Marta Kaufman are not the ones to lay blame at. I truly think that these are nerds who met in college.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do think there's parallel thinking things there where I think it makes sense that, especially during this time period, multiple people are thinking about, like we were saying, like, why haven't we ever done a TV show just about Friends? It makes sense for multiple creatives to have that idea. It's just unfortunate that this all happened in the way that it did, thanks to NBC executive bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. But it's, you know, it's sort of heartening. It's like, oh yeah, we can trace back like executive bullshit to any time period in television history. So that's what we all have in common.
And Erin, in his own autobiography, with the power of hindsight, which he wrote in someone wrote it for him in 2012. He literally was like, Friends was going to be the series that got me a black audience to NBC.
Oh my God, you fucking idiot.
I mean,
What's wrong with you?
my thing is just don't write it in your autobiography. Just don't write it.
Why would you say
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
Let's just not do it.
Because
like, what are you talking about?
You know what happened.
God.
Like the series has been off the air for a decade. Like you know what happened. You don't have to say it. Just don't admit it. I do like that Kranekoff and Bright had actually also pitched to Fox, but the feedback they got was, this is funny. It's just not Fox funny. And I had to sit and think about that for a second, but I think I honestly think that's true.
I think because
I think that's true.
I think a Fox version of this show, I think would still work, but it will be raunchier and edgier.
Yeah.
And I think as a result, I think it would be more in the alt comedy sphere, and I don't think it would have been the big explosive thing that it became. I think because it's
it's literally the SNL to Mad TV split. You know, it's the exact.
It's a little more like obviously this show could do things that were like edgy in a way, but not in the way that Fox would do it. It would not get raunchy like Fox did. I think it was it was just sanitized enough and just sanded down enough to be more appealing to a wider audience than something on Fox would be. I mean, I think it's just less angry, like a show on Fox might be too, and so more people can more easily. It makes it more easily accessible, and that's why it was such a big hit. I think that makes a lot of sense. It would have been a different show on Fox.
Yeah,
I agree.
It is kind of. I mean, I know that everything that happens is sort of like kismet to some degree, you know, right? Like every sort of show or anything that's successful is sort of that. But I do think, just hearing the other titles, it's like once we get to Friends, once we get to like this cast, like, and putting them together, like there is something like special and unique and like one of one that does like come together that you wouldn't have if it was called Insomnia Cafe, that you wouldn't have if Matthew Perry had to do the, you know, space travel luggage handlers TV pilot, you know, like it's that kind of stuff that you wouldn't have. Or, you know, if you watch New Girl and it's like you have Damon Wayans Jr. and then he has to leave to do Happy Endings and they have to rejigger the whole thing and then they bring him back, you know, like that was like a weird situation and they made it work on New Girl. But what would the show have been if like he had been there the whole time?
Right.
Then we wouldn't have Happy Endings, which I would be devastated about. But, you know, it's just all these things where it's like there is something converging to like make that so popular and so accessible. And so,
well, and the fact that like they got all these people and then obviously they're skyrocketed to fame and they all still remain on the show for 10 years. Like the fact that not a single one of these cast members ever leaves is pretty incredible for a sitcom like this, especially given that they were like instantly getting like movie offers and stuff, you know?
Totally. Well, and you can see already like the movies that they're doing, you can see who's getting better offers. You know, you can see who's doing like more successful things. And I think you could have charted that trajectory. And that's why, I mean, I do think it's like they all were the same level effectively of fame. I know that Courtney Cox was like more known and like whatever. So the fact that David Schwimmer was able to kind of like pull them all together and be like, look, we have to negotiate as a team. We have to all be a team. This is a true group ensemble effort. Sorry, Courtney, I know that you thought that you were like going to be the lead. You're not. Like, it's all of us. That sort of, I mean, it's really the power of unionizing.
Yeah,
Kinda,
truly.
yeah. Absolutely.
Truly.
Like,
You know.
good for them.
Like, they were like, no, we have to do this. And then just thinking about like how little they were making comparatively per episode when you go and look at like what the cast of Big Bang Theory was making at the end of that series run, and you're just like,
wow, really?
wow.
I have not looked into that stuff. That's fascinating.
Ooh, I don't know that you want to, Derek. It's not a strong mental health day is for that Wikipediaing.
It's not like fun to hear.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I take your word for it. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be even more sad, Jim Parsons' money that he gets paid to do voice acting on Young Sheldon, sorry, not voice acting, voice over on Young Sheldon will make your beard curl.
Okay.
Don't be wrong. I like Jim Parsons, but it's voiceover. It's not like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, let's all calm down.
Let's just calm down.
Yeah.
You're watching Friends on NBC.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Joey.
I'm Phoebe. I'm not doing this.
Come on.
Yeah, this is a shameless, exploitive attempt to get people to watch our show.
Exactly. Friends, Thursday nights, right here on NBC.
Would you stop? They've got us in our underwear. We're never going to be in our underwear. We're not going to be in our underwear, are we?
Friends, between Mad About You and Seinfeld, Thursdays this fall.
Listen to how you could win a grand prize of one of 100 trips for two to L.A. to see a live filming of Friends or thousands of other great prizes. Buy specially marked packages of Diet Coke. Watch the Diet Coke commercial during Friends on January 11th, 18th, 25th, and 28th.
See if one of them drinks it.
Match the name under the cap with the Friends character who drinks the Diet Coke in the Diet Coke commercial each week, and you're a winner. Who's gonna drink the Diet Coke? Watch Friends.
Well, we're talking about them, so let's actually jump into the cast, because I do think that the casting process of all of this is a little bit tied into the series creation. We are talking about a bottle episode, so this is the cast. These are the only people we're seeing today. We're not going to go into a lot of guest stars or anything. They are listed in the opening credits alphabetically. I have to think that it was just a really good day when all of the women and all of the men just happened to fall naturally in two big chunks. So we do the women first, then the men second. That had to feel like a pretty good day for the credits or the opening sequence director. Yeah. I just feel like.
Yeah.
The first credit is Jennifer Aniston. She plays Rachel. Before being Rachel Green, she was a regular on the Ferris Bueller series. And she had some guest appearances. Friends is her big breakout. As Erin mentioned, everyone gets films during their tenure on Friends. Aniston might get some of the best ones. She's in Picture Perfect,
for sure,
Object of My Affection, and Office Space, among others.
Yeah, I feel like out of all of them, I mean, well, this isn't true for all of them, but like she's one of the few out of this cast that never felt like she was constantly trying to be a movie star. It just kind of happened kind of naturally.
She was a movie star.
It just happened. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Even like Picture Perfect, which like I used to watch a lot. I don't know if anyone else cares about. I reference that movie like all the time. And because I was so young, it was like this cast was so important to me. So it's like then I'd see them on magazines and I'd see movies they were in, and the marketing worked on me. Like I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch this movie. They're in it. Great. And the only person that didn't work with it's like Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah.
And I think he's so funny, but he was not getting the movie offers that everyone else was getting.
No.
Yeah.
He just wasn't.
So Aniston, of course, has gone on to continue to be a film star. She's only come back to television recently with The Morning Show on Apple TV. As a recurring role. She's had guest spots, and some of them are a little bit more like, I was on Friends, so I'm on a guest spot on this.
Yeah.
Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But she's been doing lots of films, so use your time however you want to. I will say that recently she has spoken out very openly about some of the sexism in the writer's room that was specifically directed at her. And that when she, and as Erin mentioned, the entire cast reacted to that is when the threats of Rachel can be replaced came in. And so it obviously didn't happen, but Erin spoke about this on Best of Friends. When Reese Witherspoon was brought in to be Rachel's sister, that was like a test buoy in could we replace Jennifer Aniston with Reese Witherspoon?
Horrible.
Imagine how much that would have wrecked the show if that happened. Wow.
Wrecked.
Wow.
And listen, I think Rachel's sisters are fun characters, and I think Reese Witherspoon is a good actress, but it would have wrecked the show.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's just so funny given like now them with the morning show. It's just so insane that that's what was going, like it's.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
It boggles the mind.
Yes, because conceivably the first time that they met was, oh, you might be the person who's replacing me. And I know this wasn't open at the time, but like literally because me and my coworkers complained about the sexual harassment that I'm receiving at work.
God.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go make a show together about sexual harassment at work.
At my workplace. Yeah, totally. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Because also I think at the time there were like rumors, I feel like it was like, oh, maybe they don't like each other. And it's like, no, I think like Jen was like worried about being pushed out, she was like stressed about like the position she was being put in.
Yeah.
And it definitely would have ruined the show if she wasn't there, if you lost any of them.
Yes.
at any point during the run of the show, it would have ruined it.
Yeah,
you need them.
It is sort of a perfectly balanced chemical formula.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It is wild to think, again, just like stupid executive bullshit, but like considering that you have this huge hit on your hands, like you should be giving these cast members everything that they ask for to keep them happy and keep them on board for as long as possible. Like, why would you want to rock the boat of the hate that you have?
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And it really does make you go like, oh, okay, so they have to deal with this kind of bullshit. So what the fuck am I supposed to do? A non-famous person.
That's that's so
you know,
bleak.
It's like, oh, okay. Right. Yeah, it's like talk about dystopian. It's like, oh, all right. Like I guess Jennifer Aniston isn't safe, so none of us are. Like
sexism really will come for all of us. And that sort of that's why I think there was so much effort to push out the misogyny of everything, and then maybe we've taken some steps backwards recent years, but there's still a lot of that road to walk.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. All right, next credited cast member is Courtney Cox as Monica Geller. This is the Kaufman insert character. So Marta Kaufman has been very open and honest that this is like seeing herself on screen. Cox was the most famous before the series began. She had a run on Family Ties among some other sitcom work, and she had already acted in and the film was already released, Ace Ventura, before Friends started. And that hurt my head a little bit to think about.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that was before Friends. That's weird.
By a few months.
Wow, I never considered that timing. That's so funny.
I think Courtney Cox is great. I don't think Ace Ventura is a picture of her talent the way that this series is.
Yeah, and
Scream is.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. No, she's fantastic in the Scream series. Don't love that she came back for the 7th one, given all that bullshit, but she's fantastic as that character. Yeah,
totally. But also, I feel like she probably couldn't pass up being like the one through line of all 7. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like she was like, no, I got to do it.
Sure.
Got to do it.
Sure.
I mean, the 7th.
Yeah.
It doesn't
it's dead to us.
That's its own thing.
I could talk about Scream for hours.
Same.
Good to know. Erin mentioned this, but when sort of Insomnia Cafe or One of Six was in development, it was a show about Monica. And so Cox did kind of come on with the expectation that it would be a show about Monica. And spoiler alert, for 230 some episodes, it is not a show about Monica.
Yeah. Honestly, if you have to pick out a female lead, like it's kind of Rachel more than it is Monica too, you know?
100%. I mean, I've argued endlessly about how the show is actually about Rachel's journey and Rachel's, which I think we could all argue different things about where her journey ends up in the very finale, but overall it's her arc, it's her path. Courtney Cox says the word period in this episode, and she is the first person who ever said the word period on TV in a Tampax commercial in 1985.
Oh wow.
So like rewatching this, I was like, oh right, and she says period this time. Like it's so funny, and then I was like, is this a nod to that, or is it just a funny joke to make because you're recording a message, whatever? I do love Courtney Cox.
Yeah, she is
fascinating.
She continues working in television. Post Friends, she does a series lead in Dirt. She's on the Shining Veil show that from the description, sounds very much like my shit, but I haven't checked out yet. Possibly because it's on Stars and I don't know how to access that information. And then Derek and I have talked about it on this podcast, but I was a huge Cougar Town fan and I love her in it and she's fantastic. And the show is great.
It's so embarrassing to me. I never watched Cougar Town. I can't.
It's the title. The title is terrible.
I think it was just the title. I think I had a mental block against it.
That sounds right.
It's literally filled with people that I love. I need to go back and watch it. I have to go back and watch it, but I have not. I'm like obsessed with Shrinking. I've been watching Rooster. I haven't watched Cougar Town, and it's driving me crazy, actually.
I think you would really enjoy it. The premise of the name of the show is there at the beginning, and then they just abandon it. And it
yes.
As someone who likes television, I think you would like it just for that reason, if nothing else.
I think so too. No, I think I would. It's crazy. Every time it comes up, it's sort of like an embarrassment for me. I'm like, I know, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I let this happen. Like, I don't know.
Aaron being in film school will be like,
it.
I haven't seen The Godfather. Sorry. Not the same. Not the same.
No, I used to get so much shit in film school about loving Friends, though.
Oh, wow.
I was like, fuck you.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
People love the
I was
dunk
at
on
Tish.
it, and I think a lot of it is like, I mean, yeah, if you talk to anyone who's like, I'm a real TV nerd, they're like, and I don't like Friends because the normies like Friends. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like,
Okay.
I understand if it cannot be your kind of show. Like, I also am like, I tend to skew more into like alt comedy, weirder stuff. I totally get that. But like, you can't, right. But like, you can't, I think it's stupid to deny why this show was so powerful to people, even if you can criticize the flaws in it,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. It's like, you don't need to go watch it. Like, that's
Right,
fine.
yeah.
But there's no need to be like, oh, that's stupid. Is it stupid? Like, I can watch this and I can also love some stupid, obscure movie too, idiot. Like,
Yeah.
I just.
Right.
Somebody's favorite movie is Ace Ventura. Go talk to them. Don't talk to me.
Yeah. Like, right. Take that up with them.
Yeah.
Like, that's not me. Like,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Right.
I just like Twin Peaks and Friends.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You can.
Like,
You're allowed to.
Case in point, this is a TV show that has Lisa Kudrow in it. So, like,
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you. When Erin was talking about the powerhouse, 'cause this is the powerhouse. This
Yes.
Lisa Kudrow as Phoebe Buffay. Truly, I think that if you, like Erin, like me, like Derek, watched this when you were younger, you might have bounced off Phoebe. Please rewatch the series as an older person because Phoebe rules.
oh, she was always my favorite.
Phoebe
I don't know what you're
rules.
talking about. I loved her even.
Well, you have taste,
No, but-
Derek.
Yeah.
But I do think that Phoebe and Joey get like kind of siphoned off
Yes.
as like goofy. And that was my biggest learning doing the podcast about Friends is like, I was like, oh my God, Phoebe and Joey are the greatest friends to all of these assholes. Like they are the people who are holding them together while the rest of them are idiots all the time. They're just so pure and funny and nice. And like, they're the core friends. Like, they are the best part.
Truly. We talked about this on our Frasier episode, but Kudrow was going to be the character of Roz on Frasier, and it is only because she did not get that she was sort of not blacklisted, but sort of held in a different set of Hollywood values. She got the job as the waitress in Mad About You because she was sort of let go as Roz. Because she is there, that is part of how she gets the offer to come on to Friends. Marta Kaufman wanted Lisa Kudrow, but because she was fired from Frasier, she had to go through this much more intensive process of auditioning for a role that everyone had kind of said she's perfect for because she was like an untrustworthy actor because of being fired from being Roz.
Absurd.
Just wild.
It's like, oh yeah, that's definitely her fault. You're right.
Yeah, and don't be wrong, I do think that eventually going with Pippin was the better way to go.
Yeah,
I think
it ultimately
She's not
worked
right
out.
for Roz at all.
no, like
It ultimately worked out for the best.
Yes.
But still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone was on shows that lasted for a long time, so no one's even mad about like what happened.
Yeah, it's like, it's fine. Everything, Frasier was also successful. Everything is cool.
Yeah.
Like, let's chill. Especially after just watching like the last season of The Comeback, it's just so crazy to imagine a time period where someone would be like, Lisa Kudrow, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. You know, they let her go
Not
from
sure
this
about
one
that.
show, so let's just really
So,
be
like,
careful.
God.
We can't know. Have you guys ever seen Clock Watchers? I
Yes.
just watched it for the first time.
Incredible.
It's like my favorite movie now.
Incredible movie. It's such a great movie.
Oh.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah,
Cool.
I will speak to the ends of the earth about how good that movie is. It's like Office Space with women and also better. Like it's so good.
I love that. I love
Again,
that.
talk about stealing. I was like, sorry, when did Clock Watchers come out? Like, interesting. It feels like Office Space is just boys, but okay.
But Clock Watchers was
Which is
before Friends, right? This was part of her like already known.
No,
quality.
it was 96.
Oh wow, okay.
like that,
Okay.
I think.
Great.
Yeah.
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 No, David.
It's her and Parker Posey.
Oh shit.
Alana
Tony
Eubach.
Collette.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's insane that more people don't like know that this movie exists. It's
It's
so
on Criterion
incredible.
right now.
Oh shit, I have that. I mean, I have to VPN, but I have it. So yeah, this is
so good.
I'm doing this
it
tonight.
Was so. I loved it so much. I decided to watch it because I watched this. I saw like a reel on Instagram, and it was Lisa Kudrow talking about filming Clock Watchers with Parker Posey, and she basically was like, "Well, Parker had done so many movies. She was so like she had like worked so much, so they're filming stuff, and she's telling the DP like, that's not going to work. No, the shot doesn't like it's not going to work.
Yes,
and she does this pitch perfect Parker Posey impression that I cannot do, obviously.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much, and I was like, I have to watch this movie. What is this movie? Like, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And really, you look at Parker's IMDb, and she was in like a billion movies, like so many movies before that. So of course she's like indie, like queen. She's like, no, this shot won't work. Sorry.
So
I do.
And Lisa was like learning from her. She said,
I do think if Parker Posey came in and said anything I was doing in my job wasn't perfect, I might just quit and not work ever again.
I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, Parker.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Sin to my family. I've dishonored my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite Lisa Kudrow thing is Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Genuinely
She's
incredible.
so incredible at it.
Queer cinema, Derek. Queer cinema.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it.
So good. Oh, but she's so funny.
Yeah. But
they're all so funny, but she's so funny.
I think that if I had to pick a great deep cut Lisa Kudrow perfect, it was in that Neighbors movie with Seth Rogen. She plays the dean.
I love Neighbors.
She plays the dean of students, and it is the most accurate dean of students I've ever seen on film.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
I mean, Derek, it's like 2 minutes that she's in it. This is not a huge role.
Sure. But I've heard Neighbors is good though.
Neighbors is really good.
Yeah, Neighbors is good. Neighbors is good.
Because it's Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne.
Thank you.
That's like why and so I've watched both of them and I love that. And then I watched all of Platonic because I love them together so much.
Excellent series.
So good. Ugh.
All right, well, let's talk about the boys. Back half of the cast here. First, we've got Matt LeBlanc as Joey Tribbiani. Previous to Friends, he was in a few sitcoms. He even had a like recurring gig on Married with Children. That was sort of, I guess, what brought him to their attention. His films, okay. Okay, stop. He's
Lost
in the Charlie...
in Space. Lost in Space, David.
Not good. Not good, Derek. Not good.
I love that movie because it's just an absolute clusterfuck of a movie. It's so funny that movie exists. And like was the movie that unseated Titanic as well. That's my favorite thing about that. That an unseated Titanic from the box office was fucking Lost in Space with Matt LeBlanc. And I don't think there's a single person on this earth that was like, yeah, that was a good movie. Like, not a single person.
But he's also Lucy Liu's love interest in Charlie's Angels. So, like, you win some and you lose some.
Lucy, you can do better, I think. But sure.
I mean, yes. But he's kind of fun in it because he is actually kind of playing Joey in it, but like it's I mentioned the series earlier, but he is the one who goes on to the spin-off show Joey and is the only cast member who appears on it. Derek, friends from New York never come to visit.
Yeah
no, he really God, I don't know.
But I think when it comes to television, okay, so Joey sort of became a weird character, and that's why the spin-off was a little bit weird, but LeBlanc in episodes is a pretty good breath of fresh air. It is an excellent series. He is great with it. I haven't watched This Man with a Plan, but people seem to like it. So
yeah,
nice.
People seem to like it. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. But also, I mean, I feel like watching like the Friends reunion and all that stuff, like he just seems like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And like he just seems so genuine and they all love him so much. And that is really what makes me be like, why can't we got to get you something good.
Something that works for you.
To do. But also, I mean, he's probably like he's probably just like, I have enough money. This is fine.
Yeah. I mean,
sure.
Work if you want to.
Yeah. Work if you want, which like, God bless. Like, I would love that. But I wish he could have, I wish he could have something that was like successful in the same way as some of the others,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I really wish that for him because I think he's so good and he should be doing stuff. And he's so cute now.
Oh.
He's like gray hair.
Yes.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah. A couple extra pounds, salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything for me right
He's
now.
so sweet.
Next, we have Matt Perry as Chandler Bing. This is the Crane insert character. David Crane, openly gay, had really seen Chandler being in that space. Executives didn't want Chandler to be gay, so I think you can feel a lot of that in the script, and that I think is where some of the gay panic humor that hasn't aged well from the series comes in. Perry is the last one cast of the Friends. He had been in a bunch of things, including working with Crane and Kaufman on Dream On, which is sort of how they had an idea about him.
David. So is Crane gay in real life? That's okay, cool.
Yeah, and he married another TV producer, and I can't remember what he worked on, but I was like, wow, rival shows. So he must have been working on a different studio, and they are pretty private people, so not a lot of information. The best I could get is how much they sold their LA condo for, which I was like, wow, nice to have Friends money, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow. Also, I like
we all want Friends money.
I like that I asked, like, is he gay in real life? Like, is this real man who exists gay in real life? Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's just gay for the 4 hours of interview. He and Kaufman both sat down for 4 hours with the Academy to do those interviews about their lives and careers, and so I was able to get a lot of great information from him. Broadly, I loved that the interviewer was like, so like you changed America with Friends, and he was like pretty much like, no, we made a TV show. And
I love that.
I love that.
At one point in time, God bless the interviewer, was like, but no, like the Rachel, and he was like, I didn't write that she gets a haircut. I am now David Crane's biggest fan. I was like,
I think that's great.
Yeah, that gives me like a lot of love for them. I feel like just that level of self-awareness. I really dig that.
Yeah. Truly and honestly.
I do think that's also why I think it's so silly when people are like, I hate Friends. It's like, it's just a TV show.
Yeah.
It's
just a TV show.
Just because there are jokes that are cringy or like whatever, anything that you can pick apart about it, which I'm not saying I disagree with.
Yeah.
It's just a TV show.
Yeah.
It's not doing active harm. Like,
I do think
you're just supposed to laugh. It's fine.
I think what people respond to is less the show itself and more its place in pop culture and being annoyed with how much space it takes in pop culture, takes up in pop culture, and people who are really big hardcore fans of it, but not really fans of anything else. And that kind of, because I have met people who their entire identity is either they love the show Friends or they love the show The Office or they love Harry Potter. And like, that's just those things.
Yeah.
And those are kind of sometimes the worst people you've ever met. And I do think that puts a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths sometimes.
Totally.
So I do see that, and I hold space for that. However, it is just a TV show. Get over it. I agree with that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. That's so funny.
Your interests should inform other interests, and like that, don't let one thing be the only thing that you engage with. Like, I mean, again, listening to Erin on her podcast about Friends is how I learned about How I Met Your Mother. Not learned about it, like I knew that it existed. I wasn't living under a rock. But it was the recommendation of these people who were like, this is like an evolved version of this that finally convinced me to change the channel and check it out. And that is what you should do as someone who's interested in media, is let that grow into something else.
Yeah, you should never just be like, this is the only thing that I like and pay attention to, you know?
Yeah.
Just in general, it's not a fun way to live.
Right.
It's so fun to like stuff.
Yeah.
Perry gets some films out of this deal too. He was in 3 to Tango, kind of I think an interesting film, but I think right along with like Object of My Affection, these folks were like dabbling in like close to queer cinema. I love it. He gets married to Salma Hayek in Fools Rush In, a film I've probably seen 600 times. It is an excellent Saturday film to put on. And then he's on The Whole Nine Yards with Bruce Willis, and the sequel, which I didn't even know existed until today.
Of course.
Erin, what am I doing with my life?
What are you doing? I cannot believe you haven't seen the whole 10 yards. I used to watch the whole 9 yards all the time.
Yeah.
That's why Bruce Willis has a guest appearance on Friends.
Yep.
Because they made a bet.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And one of the better
They
guests.
made a bet on that set.
I mean,
and Bruce Willis was like, this movie isn't going to do well. And Matt Perry was like, no, it is. Like, whatever the bet was. And then Bruce had to come. And he has a great
guest
spot on
appearance.
Friends.
Truly.
So fun.
I think, honestly, the big guests that they get, we're not talking about any of them today because it's a bottle episode, but the guests that they get are actually, is a testament to maybe the show's giganticism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perry was on that Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip show, which we seem to mention every once in a while here on Gimmicks because a lot of people cross over into it. He was on the short-lived Mr. Sunshine, then short-lived Go On, and then he was in that Odd Couple remake, which was his last recurring TV role before he passed in 2023.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I was one of the 4 people who really loved that show Go On, but nobody
really?
else watched it. Yeah, I thought it was really
No one else
good.
watched it.
I really enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, but
Yay,
no one
Derek.
else did. So, oh well.
Well,
Same for him. I always wanted him to find that show, like find another show to be on, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know.
Playing a drug addicted writer on Studio 60 was not it. Is really the thing, and
I know.
that's it's kind of hard for that to be part of the history now.
That's upsetting.
It is. It really is. It really is. Yeah. His book, if you've read, like, is so kind of
it's a bit hard. To read. I read it for this.
You know.
Oh boy.
It is a book written by somebody who's really struggling with okay, so there's the struggle with addiction and life, but it is the very, very real, I want to make something, and as soon as I make it, I hate it. And I hate myself for making it. And it is, but that is something that any of us who have created something feel in one way, shape, or form. It's a real part of the artistic process. And I think Friends getting so big really amplified the struggle with that feeling.
The stakes are higher at that point because
Yeah.
now everyone's expecting you to make a great work of art, and then the second that you're going to be your hardest critic on that stuff. So, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
it's so rough. And I read the book when it came out, so it was before he died, and it's like it would be such a harder read post. It's just such a tragedy.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so hard. I mean, that's really the like depressing version of like it can come for anyone.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're Matthew Perry.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter if you have friends' money. It's like he's struggling with this thing. He has this addiction. He has these like problems in a whole myriad of ways, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like it kind of doesn't matter like what success you've had. And it's just really sad.
Yeah. And then last to round out our cast is David Schwimmer as Ross Geller. Schwimmer was the first person they had in mind for the cast. This was sort of considered their like slam dunk. We've got to get him. And that was exclusively because of his role on the Henry Winkler show Monty that got him the attention of Marta Kaufman, who was working with the casting director. Still haven't seen the show, Derek, but it's about Henry Winkler being Rush Limbaugh. That's all I really know.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Schwimmer is so funny because he's like, you know, like a theater guy.
Yes.
Like he's such like a theater guy and so like self-serious, but he is like, I've said it 1,000 times, but his physical comedy on Friends is
good.
Just unmatched. Like it's just so good. It's so crazy. He's so good at it where it's kind of like, I guess you just need this. You can do this stuff, but fine. Your heart is in like live theater or something like that people deem more serious or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, buddy, you are so good at this. You're so good
Yeah.
at comedy.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, his more recent roles have been more serious, haven't they? That's a little bit of, he's good in them. I mean, I think I liked him in that American Crime Story, but.
Yeah, he was good in that. He came when Will and Grace had the reboot, he was like on that. And that's a taping of the episode that I went to because my friend who wrote on Joey was writing on Will and Grace.
Nice.
And so he was like, you know, Twitter friend. And he was like, oh, do you guys want to come to this taping? I can't tell you why, but you will like it. So Jamie and I went. And then we're like sitting in the audience for the taping, whatever. And David Schwimmer is the guest star, and we both like lost our minds.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's really cool. That's really
it was
cool.
like, I can't believe, because this was like the episode that he was like coming into the Will and Grace reboot or whatever. And so like getting to, because I didn't live anywhere near LA. I never went to a taping of the show. You hear all these stories as a Friends fan growing up of people going to tapings. And I'm like, that seems so fun. Like, I would just have watched that for hours. Like, that seems so fun. And I get to go and actually see David Schwimmer, like, doing a live sitcom. And those guys, I mean, some of the cast, Deborah Messing of Will and Grace, are crazy. Deborah Messing. But they are so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's the same thing. It's like you can feel how it would be the same thing as watching Friends, where it's like this group of people who are so good at sitcom television, 3-camera style sitcom acting, you know? And so to watch David Schwimmer, like, in that situation, watch them stop and have a new take and like have a new joke and stuff, and how quickly they all just kind of like move together was so fun.
Yeah.
Even though it's Will and Grace, which I like fine, but don't have the same, you know,
but
whatever
like
about. It was just so fun.
A well done like multicam like setup for a show. Like, it's hard to pass that up, especially watching them do it live. It's got to be very cool.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. That's why I had such a good time watching the comeback this season. I was like, yeah, multicam. This is great.
It's a really cool way to make a TV show. Yeah, it rules.
You know what's wild, Derek? I don't think we've talked about a James Burrows actually directed episode here on Gimmicks, and he's sort of, I mean, he directed I think every episode of Will and Grace.
Maybe
we have
think about, because it sounds like I feel like there's something in my head that says that we have, but maybe he's like come up in conversation, but we haven't actually talked about the episode he did. I'm not sure, but I feel like he has come up in some capacity. Well,
and he directed the pilot for Friends, right, Erin? James Burrows? Because I think a lot of the house style of Friends feels Burrows coded to me.
Sure.
I think so, totally. I love whenever Lisa as Valerie is like, Jimmy. Laugh so much.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think he directed the episode of Will and Grace that I saw in person, and I was also freaking out about that.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like such an odd like experience. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm 12, like a weird sitcom nerd. I'm like, this is great.
So much. That's so exciting. Well, let's finally start talking about this episode that we're here to talk about. Season 3, episode 2, entitled The One Where No One's Ready. The original air date for this episode was September 26, 1996. The synopsis per IMDb is: a stressed Ross desperately and insistently tries to get the rest of the gang ready for a black tie event at the museum, while Joey and Chandler clash over personal belongings and personal space. Some people are missing in that situation.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, IMDb. You never fail to personal belongings. Also, I guess the clothes is a personal belonging. I guess.
Yeah. Sure, I guess it's real.
One way to phrase it.
This one is written by Ira Ungolader. They're part of the season 1 writers' room. The writers' room apparently fluctuated somewhere between 8 and 14 people at a time. And so Ira was there from the very beginning, stays on through season 3.
Wow.
A lot of folks were hired from the writers' room, especially in the beginning, who had a background in theater. So I do think it makes sense that
totally makes sense.
Ira is one of them.
You can see it right here in this episode too, for sure.
Truly. And Ira did not do a lot more sitcom work after this. Ira is sort of back to writing for theater. Friends was his first gig. After sort of a couple of hit and miss sitcoms, he does write on that Rashida Jones cop show, Angie Tribeca.
Oh, that show rules. I love
Oh, really?
that show.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Oh, yeah,
I loved Angie Tribeca, yeah.
It's like The Naked Gun, the TV show, basically. It is like that kind of sense of humor. It's great. It's so funny.
And that's all I really have to say about Ira, who is a very outspoken supporter of the Israeli Defense Force. So,
oh no,
yeah,
oh
that's
no,
all. That's all. On the other hand, this episode is directed by Gail Mancuso. Mancuso is the script supervisor on a couple Showtime shows before getting the job as an associate director on Roseanne. Red flags flinging right by our heads as we hear these words come out of my mouth. But she goes on to direct 54 episodes of Roseanne, then Major Dad. She has a run of directing on Herman's Head.
I love Major Dad.
Yes. The Nanny, fine, whatever. Ellen, okay, well, you survived Ellen, so you're allowed to do anything now.
You can't find whatever Fran Drescher. Come on, David.
That's fair. I mean,
the Nanny is great.
Yeah, the Nanny's great, but like,
okay.
Sitcom
I guess it's a directing job. Yeah. It's not like you're.
Oh, I see.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, whatever. Fran Drescher, guys, come on.
That's what it sounded like. You're sort of like, yeah, Major Dad.
Former SAG president.
Sorry, I did not mean to put Fran Drescher and Ellen on the same page. I was just talking about sitcom work. But this episode is Mancuso's fourth of 14 episodes that she'll direct of Friends, and then she will direct 2 episodes of Joey. After Friends, she keeps directing in sitcoms, eventually directing 31 episodes of Modern Family, and that is where she wins her 2 Emmys. Wow. One for the episode where Haley gets arrested, and the other for their first of 2 farce episodes, which was called Vegas.
Okay. Wow. Dang. It's funny to have directed a bunch of episodes of Friends, but still not get any Emmys until Modern Family, like a decade later. That's really interesting.
And 54 of Roseanne, like it just feels like she was purposely trying not to get an Emmy at some point in time. Like they were just missing her.
Yeah. Wow.
Still directing to this day. Most recently, the Scrubs reboot. She was on one of those episodes.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Well, why are we talking about this episode in particular? It's a bottle episode. It's maybe one of the classic bottle episodes. If there's one that you can point to, if someone asks you how to define a bottle episode, you can kind of show them this one and be like, it's like this, basically. We have talked about bottle episodes since the beginning of this podcast. The very first episode we released back in 2022 was on the Seinfeld episode, The Chinese Restaurant, which was, of course, also probably the most famous bottle episode, I think, in sitcoms before this one came out, because that came out in like 91, I think. Obviously, the term bottle episode gets used incorrectly many times, which we've talked about on the podcast. I think since this episode, I think got people to understand you can do like a low budget episode, maybe throw everyone in basically one room and keep it cheap. And then that'll be a bottle episode. But I think, and then Community does their cooperative calligraphy episode where they really actually say in that episode, we're doing a bottle episode, which I think gets people to learn that. But then over time, I think people then start associating the term bottle episode with just any episode that's kind of weird or different, which drives me batty. It still happens all the time. There was an article going around that was saying the Mandalorian Grogu movie is just like a movie length bottle episode. And I'm like, what? Your big budget theatrical film is a bottle episode? No. What are you talking about?
Get out of here.
No, but does it drive anyone crazy that in this episode they have that button at the end that's at the actual event?
A little.
It's unnecessary.
That ruins it for me every single time.
And I don't think it's funny enough to justify its existence either. I think it's fine. It's a fine tag, but it's hold on, we
get it out.
Yeah. I think it would have been funnier if they'd left and then maybe you get one more phone call and you just hear the answering machine. What's his name? The guy that Courtney Cox was calling. You just get the empty apartment and hear the phone call or something. That would have been a funny gag.
100%. Or someone runs in to get Joey runs in to get the glass of fat for the road.
Right.
Something like that. It's
I agree with
anything else.
Yeah.
Anything else.
Because
I love that you're not even, it is a bottle episode until that point because you don't even go to the boys' apartment. The boys go to the apartment, they come back to our space. We don't go into either of the girls' rooms, which we do sometimes go into later episodes. You're just in this space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they do it so well until the very end.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to past episodes of our podcast where we talk at length about it, we did an episode on the very first bottle episode ever from The Outer Limits where they coined the term essentially. But basically a recap of what a bottle episode is that it's usually an inexpensive episode of a TV show written and produced quickly as a cost savings, usually a few guest stars as a cost savings, usually contain 2 existing sets. It doesn't necessarily need to be a chamber piece to be a bottle episode, but usually chamber pieces are bottle episodes just because they're going to be cheaper to be made. And the reason it's a bottle episode is because you're basically pulling these miracles off, pulling an episode out of a bottle like a genie. To do an episode like this is a miracle, basically.
I continue to maintain that these could be called genie episodes, and that could have been the reality that we're living in. There's a Sliders episode here, Derek, that we just have alternated reality.
Yeah.
As you were describing it, I was like, yeah, why is it called the bottle episode? And what I decided was like building a ship in a bottle.
Yeah.
I think that works.
So it's like
too.
all in one place.
Yeah.
So when you said genie, I was like, oh, that kind of bottle.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think like I think the ship in the bottle thing maybe makes a little bit more sense, but it like evolved naturally from the original idea of it. Like we just need to we need a miracle to get an episode out quickly and cheaply. Our season, we're going to pull it. But like, I think because people usually say that genies come from lamps, not bottles. Yeah. So it could also be called a lamp episode.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be weird. But like, I think it works either way. The idea of it just being a cheap episode. So if you're listening and you were like, I thought a bottle episode just meant something weird or different. No, it's got to be an episode that is produced very, very cheaply and intentionally trying to be cheap and save money.
Yeah, and it all came from an Outer Limits episode where they have special effects. It was a hoot for us to talk about. Go back and check that one out.
It's a great episode.
So funny.
Yeah. And also, I think this episode, it's the only Friends episode that does this, but it is more or less real time. Yeah. Like this does take place. Yeah. Like there's a point when Ross is like, we have 12 minutes left. And if you check if you check how much time you have about 12 minutes and 57 seconds left of the episode. Like, yeah, it's totally for real. It's like you're watching a live stage play, essentially.
Yeah, truly.
Totally. Which makes it so fun. I mean, it's like, I love talking. Like, I love talking in TV shows. I love when it's overlapping dialogue. I love when it's like multiple things going on. And the energy of the episode is just so fun. It's so fun to just kind of like dive into, hang out with them for 22 minutes, whatever. Like it's delightful. Truly. Delightful to experience.
Yeah, and in more support of this being a bottle episode, executive producer Kevin Bright has said and will probably continue to talk about, because as he talks about Friends, he is very open about talking about the budget of all of this. He said season 3 is when the gravy train is going to run out. Littlefield didn't get the black audience he wanted, so we're going to get our budget cut. So right from the beginning, episode 2, we need to save money on episode 2. I'm going to bank up a little bit of cash for later this season. And he pitched this to be a cost savings episode. I think you can see in the final production, not just the end tag, but there's a couple other things. When it starts raining, I think you could have had Ross look out the window and be like, oh, it's going to start raining. But to actually produce rain feels like an unnecessary cost for a true bottle episode. Not that
that's true.
Not that I think having a PA like sprinkle water is actually that expensive, but
like with a hose.
But you would have been cutting all the corners. Leslie Stevens would have. That man brought a typewriter on an airplane. This, though, did set a tradition to write a chamber piece or bottle episode once a season, pretty much moving forward. Bright has said that it was always for budget reasons. I think Friends season 8 through 10 was not having budget issues. Sorry, Kevin.
I probably did still save the money, though.
Yes, but it almost felt like a writer's room. I don't know, it just felt like a bonding experience is how I guess they described it when I hear these interviews. Yeah. It sounded like something they just liked to do.
Sure, I get it. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's like doing the Thanksgiving episodes, I guess. You know, it's like, oh, here's a little thing that we can do for fun to amuse ourselves.
Speaking of traditions in the writer's room, a lot of the stories that came up broke because of their personal lives. Crane and Kaufman have talked about this. They would start every writer's room with what happened since last time we saw each other, and that would help generate story ideas. They were also prone to late nights working and challenging each other in food dares, which would show up as inspiration in various episodes, including this one with Drink the Fat.
It's so, it's so disgusting. If I think about it too much and like actually doing that, it's like I sort of want to throw up.
That's natural. That's natural, Erin. That's actually a good evolutionary process.
Yeah. I do think it's kind of funny because this episode frames it that like people will constantly like mistaken the fat for something else. And I'm like, I think when it's just in a regular glass, it's pretty easy to tell what that is. I don't think I'm going to look at that and think it's cider, man. What are you doing?
No.
The fact that Chandler tricks Joey into doing it and it isn't like, yeah, I figured that out. It's, yeah, I did that 2 minutes ago. Like, he also drank it is so weird.
Yeah.
Also, Monica's a chef. Like,
yes, there would just be a glass of fat. But this is also solid season 3 Monica. Season 7 Monica would have had this in Tupperware, locked down, foil wrapped.
Yeah, totally.
Do not eat fat. Yeah, this is it's nice.
Yeah, labeled fat.
Yeah, it's nice to see the characters in their unevolved state here too.
Yeah.
I also just want to say that there's when you Google this episode is credited with the spread of the use going commando. And I guess just because it appears 3 times in this episode, the OED cites this episode as the reason that this has gained popularity. The term going commando, as to mean not wearing underwear, had been ongoing primarily at college and university campuses since the Vietnam War called attention to more people being in infantry. It was first documented in use in a student newspaper in 1974 at the University of North Carolina. So this did not invent the term, but maybe this spread the term so much more. And that makes sense if it was popular in the 70s, that Kaufman and Crane would have been exposed to it.
Yeah. So it's not that they invented the term. It's just that the spread of it in the 90s started here. That is so wild.
There you go.
Wow.
There's so crazy.
Bizarre fact for today.
The weird impact this show would make in just the strangest spaces is so funny. Yeah.
And it's so weird to me because like there's so much stuff between this and The Simpsons that are references to other things that I did not know outside of the context of The Simpsons or Friends.
Yeah.
Like so much of like where I know things from is from those 2 shows.
Yeah. I do think that a thing that like Friends haters would not like to hear, but that is true, is that like I do think that there is a similar through line between The Simpsons and Friends in how they have affected pop culture and stuff in the same way, like you said, where it's like just lingo and lexicon stuff and the way we refer to things come from one of those 2 shows probably in some way. Like if it's something that wasn't pre-existing before the 90s, or even if it was popularized by those shows, even though those shows didn't invent them. And I do think that there probably is as much stuff. There is the Friends language just as much as there's a Simpsons language. And you might not even realize that you're using those phrases, you know?
100%. Totally. It's just so fascinating. It's like one of those things that sort of makes you go like, oh, I'm on the Truman Show, like of my own making.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm like, you know, brainwashing myself by by only knowing things from these things.
Yeah. The last other thing I want to bring up about sort of just, I guess, the legacy of this episode before we just talk about some of our favorite stuff from it. If you've ever seen the music video for Jay-Z's song Moonlight, like a big section of that video at the beginning is just accurately recreating the first 2 minutes of this episode, and like set costumes and all. Like it is a perfect recreation of it. And they have like Issa Rae, Tessa Thompson, Lakeith Stanfield, Tiffany Haddish, among others, just in those roles. And it's just like shot for shot saying the exact same lines. They're not doing it. They're not changing anything. It is just, what if those very famous actors just acted out the beginning of this episode of Friends? It's wild. It's really cool to watch.
I love that.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, a week, a month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you.
Well, we can jump into the episode. We've got a sort of vague outline here, Erin. But let us go where we want to. Don't let us skip a joke if you like it. The episode begins with the drink the fat situation and Ross coming in to be like, here are the stakes of the episode. It's a pretty efficient cold open.
It is. It really is. I also just, as someone who's usually in that position, I really love Ross in this episode. Like just the thing of like, no, we have to get out of the door like right now. Why don't you just get dressed right now? Especially like I have 2 small children now. So I'm like, yep, I'm Ross pretty much every day. Like, okay, well, I'm dressed. So could we, let's go. Like,
Changed.
Hang on a second, I just got in.
Look, I don't care. It starts at 8. We can't be late.
And he could not, would not want to wait.
Look, our table is down in front, okay? My boss is going to be there. Everyone will see if we arrive after it starts.
Has somebody been drinking my fat?
I sympathize with Ross in that regard, yeah, because I also get it where it's just like, come on, guys, come on, stop, hurry up. However, I think he does get a little bit too mean by the end. I think he takes it a little bit over the edge, which I do think the episode doesn't treat him like he's in the right. And I will say, you know, trying to like get your kids ready is different than like your friends. If he really needed to get there, he could have just left and gotten his own cab and they could have gotten their own cab.
Totally.
And the fact that he is so like, we all have to go together as a group. It's like, okay, buddy, like calm down.
And in my memory, he was like getting an award. That's because at some point in time, Ross does win an award. And I think there's some similar vibes going on with that. But I was like, oh, this is just a fundraising dinner. You can be late. You can truly be late.
right. Like, come on, man.
He has to give the speech. He has to thank the donors.
They've already given the money. You're fine.
right. I do appreciate that it's just like the sort of comedy of someone who's very high strung.
Yeah.
Like being surrounded by this chaos and no one is listening to him. I think that core of the episode is very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I love that Phoebe comes in and she's the second person who's ready.
I love that.
Because you wouldn't necessarily expect that, but again, Phoebe is a good friend. So she's like, I'm here, I'm on time.
Like, oh yeah, this is your night. I will be here and support you.
Yeah.
Like, no one else.
And she only messes up her outfit because of the boys. So it's like
not even her fault.
Her fault. It's like she's just trying. She's like here for you, Ross.
Phoebe
like,
did nothing wrong,
I'm doing
as
it.
usual.
You did nothing wrong.
it made me feel so crazy that Joey and Chandler are like, oh, it takes like 2 minutes for us to get dressed. And I'm like, in a full tux? Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. I know that it's like, oh, the boys don't take as long as girls to get dressed or whatever. But I'm like, there's a lot of layers to that. Like, you're not like, I know that in the actual show, it's like they're just going backstage, getting dressed real quick and running back on. But in real life, you know, you're styling your hair, you're making sure your stuff is ironed and ready. Like, 2 minutes, you're great. No, I'm with Ross in that situation. Like, guys, no, don't start now. You should be halfway through at least. Yeah.
You need to be dressed. It would be better if you were. I will say everyone's hair looks great.
Truly,
in this episode,
we are in
which is like a feat.
Solid, perfect 90s hair.
Like everyone looks good.
Yeah, they did all get their hair done before this moment. That's why they're not stressed. Is they've already did the pre-work.
That's true.
It's literally just putting the clothes on is all they need to do.
Just when Rachel comes out of the bathroom and he's like, okay, so you'll be ready. And she's like, yeah, I just have to get dressed. And that takes what, 6 or 7 minutes? And she goes, yeah, as soon as I find out decide what to wear, and goes by. And like his just like, it's like, you can just see you can just see how he's going to react as time ticks on. And I do think it's very realistic that like Rachel's the one that he kind of snaps at, because you do that all the time. It's like, this is your partner. This is the person you love. Of course, that's the person that you're going to like snap at the most, because you like feel the closest to them. And you're just like, please.
Yeah, truly. This is also where Monica's conflict gets introduced, because Monica comes back in and there's a message on the answering machine from her ex-boyfriend, Richard, played by Tom Selleck.
Is Tom Selleck doing like the voiceover for his outgoing message? Is that still his voice there?
It is his voice, and it seems to be newly recorded, but Tom Selleck is not on, like, he's not even credited as the voice.
Yeah. So like that's the closest that they get to like a guest star in it, and it probably was like 2 seconds. So I mean, I was gonna say he could have recorded on his phone, but I guess it's 1996. But
no,
you know what I mean.
The answer machine is a critical part of the plot here, Tara.
Hi, it's me. I'm coming over now. Hey, what if I'm already there when you're playing this message? Is that too spooky?
Hi, Rach. Are you there? It's me. Pick up. Rachel. Rach.
What?
Never mind.
Monica, it's Richard. Call me.
Is that message old or new?
Older new!
It's old. It's definitely old. Didn't you hear the double beep?
Well, what if it's new? I mean, we agreed not to talk. He could have something really important to say. Shouldn't I call him back?
Honey, you did call him back because it's really old.
Yeah, see, come on, listen. When Carol and I broke up, I went through the same thing. And you know what I did? I got dressed
But I mean, I do love that about this,
Me
though, how
too.
much of this is structured around the answering machine, the mechanics of an answering machine. Like, I know it's so passe to be like, they couldn't do this today because the technology changed, but like, it is fascinating. It is still funny because it's like the specifics of like, well, the double beep means this, and you have to dial in to do this, and oh no, I left the outgoing message. Like, it is very funny how of that specific time period it is.
And when Phoebe picks up the cordless telephone, which was like such a big deal. Like, this one doesn't have a cord. It's humongous. Like, Zach Morris carries it to school, but it's like huge. And then she presses just her finger over the tiny, like, speaking into part of the phone. Just covers like 4 open holes.
Suddenly silent.
Like, it's Michelle. Like, it's so like, oh, it's fine. Everything's cool.
The other like subplot, if you want to call these things subplots, is just literally Chandler and Joey fighting over a chair and sitting in a chair in the most like childish way possible. There's a point where apparently Matt LeBlanc like dislocated his shoulder doing a stunt in this bottle episode where they're just all hanging out in the same room. Like, he like dived into the chair, I guess, and he like actually landed like on his shoulder or something like that, and like dislocated it to the point that like that they had to actually like stop production for a little while to actually recover his shoulder, and he ended up being in a sling for like 2 episodes afterwards. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, dislocated, pop it back in. It was like actually an injury from that.
Yeah, the one with the jam starts with him jumping on a bed off screen and then going, ah, and coming back with the sling.
It's incredible. It is. Because
which is just so funny.
When you're rewatching, you're kind of like, what a weird cold open. But then when you have this like trivia knowledge and you rewatch it, you're like, God, that kind of smart. Because now we have to film him in a sling. So how do you get him in a sling? We can't like show him in an accident. He's actually injured. And Joey would jump on the bed. Like, it works.
And I think it's funny that happens in like, again, their bottle episode that's supposed to be very quick and simple. It's like, well, damn, like we weren't planning to have like elaborate stunts in the episode, and yet someone still got injured enough to affect like episodes coming after this.
I know this didn't happen because even in the 90s there would have been more safety, but I wonder if Kevin Bright was like, fuck, we didn't bring a medic on this day because there was not anything that a medic could even be needed for.
I love their just like petty fight because it's just such a good thing for them to be distracted by, because probably otherwise Joey and Chandler would just go get dressed because they don't really care. But it's like just such a dumb thing that they're like, the cushion is the essence of the chair.
Great line.
Like,
great
they
line.
just have to be fighting over it. I also, whenever I hear A.A. Milne referenced, which, doesn't come up a lot, but I do have children, so like, if I look at Winnie the Pooh or something, I just always think of that line.
I think it was A.A. Milne who said,
It was like, in the words of A.A. Milne, get out of my chair, dill hole.
Yeah, this episode does a really good job of giving everyone something to do, which I know it's like sounds obvious, but I think when you're trying to have everyone generally in the same room at the same time, only exiting to just go either to the other apartment or in another room that you can't see them off stage, like, I do think everyone has a reason for why they are causing holdups that makes sense for their characters, that are also kind of funny little subplots. Because like, that's the danger, of course, of doing any sort of episode like this, is that it's like, you don't want it to be boring if it's just everyone's just standing on set talking a lot. And there's enough antics that feel in character to kind of fill out the time without it feeling boring. And so you can have Chandler and Joey having all this ridiculous childish action happening. They exit and then someone else comes in, and it's like Monica dealing with her drama. She exits, someone else comes in with their issue. Like, so I feel like there's a really good pace to how things are going with the characters just kind of going on and off, dealing with their own bullshit the entire time. While Ross is like, I guess really the only one who's on set, on the stage the entire time as things are happening around him.
Yeah, here's really a tether point. I hadn't really considered that, but you're the camera's always including Ross in some way, even if he's not in the action. He's in the background fretting.
I don't think he ever leaves. Like, I think David Schwimmer would have had to be standing there the entire time.
Yeah,
he's there. I do love too how Rachel's hold up is she finally gets dressed. She has everyone's outfits look great.
You do, yeah.
Like she finally gets dressed. She has that cute little like short dress with like a jacket. She just can't decide on the shoes. And she and Phoebe are just having a very girly talk about shoes. Whatever. Rachel loves fashion. She wants to get into fashion. It's just such like a probably unintentional like foreshadowing of the demise of Ross and Rachel, because again Ross is like, fashion doesn't matter, and Rachel's like, it does actually. Like, I need to find the right shoes, you fuck.
This
like,
matters.
please.
It matters.
Fashion doesn't matter. What really matters are dinosaurs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You did say that.
When she just comes out in her sweats, and then her performance is just the best.
Yes.
It's just the same. I have said I'm catching up on my correspondence so much. I like every once in a while look for that Nick sweatshirt she's wearing. Because now they just make recreations, and I'm like, do I want a recreation? I don't. You know?
Right.
It's her performance there is just pitch perfect.
Yes. Hot take, Jennifer Aniston in this outfit, the casual clothes outfit, hottest she's ever looked. I mean, just gorgeous.
Her hair looks perfect. She's just gorgeous.
Yes.
Just gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I do always think it's funny at the end of the episode when she comes out in this like beautiful mint outfit, and I'm like, you had this the whole time.
Oh, you scrolled
on.
by this one? Why?
Yeah, just put that on. What are you doing? What are we doing here?
Monica continues to go crazy over this message. This is one of my favorite things in the world, and the thing that probably we say the most in the household is, I'm breezy. it just, that is top Cox performing to me. It is excellent.
Same.
It is great. And it is the right amount of mania about the situation.
Yeah.
You can't just say you're breezy. That totally negates the breezy. I love when they're listening to it back, and Joey's reaction is like, oh, and Ross is like trying not to have a reaction because he doesn't want her to keep spiraling, but he's like,
that was bad.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Like, just the three of that, just the boys' reaction to listening to the crazy message that she recorded is so funny.
That's the sitcom stuff that I love with these types of shows, when it's just someone just getting overly obsessive about something and ruining I love that the entire conceit of this is that it probably was an old message that she never needed to respond to, and she's now opened up this can of worms and just the unraveling of everything, and it just the utter domino effect of getting to the point that now she's going to look like a crazy person and she has ruined any chance of getting back together with this guy. Like, it's so good and so pitch perfect, and like constantly on the edge of like, just stop here, don't go further, and everyone else in the room being like, don't do anything, and she just can't get out of it. We've all been there of just sort of like, you can't get out of your head, and it was like, well, if I do this one thing, maybe I'll feel better, and you only make it worse. It's so good. I love that stuff.
No, Derek, if I keep walking into the woods, I'll get to the exit. Come on.
It's so funny.
As part of that storyline, at one point in time, she calls Richard's daughter, and then Richard's daughter calls back. And Phoebe says, she must have that caller ID thing. You should get that. And I don't know why that got me this time, but I howled.
Yeah.
Just to talk about Phoebe, because Lisa Kudrow is excellent. This just acting with this Christmas ribbon on to hide the hummus stain. It's every time she's on screen, it's so funny.
Hey, I'm ready. Rachel didn't have anything that I liked, but she had this Christmas ribbon. I thought, all right, fine, I'll be political.
What are you supporting?
Duh, Christmas.
Okay, hey, that's okay with me. 2 down, and I have exactly 12 minutes. What? My watch stopped. My watch. Okay, see, the dinosaur tail isn't going around anymore. What time is it?
What are you celebrating? What are you supporting? Duh, Christmas.
Yeah, I like she's like, yeah, I just thought, all right, fine, I'll be political. I love too that like of as much as like Ross is being high strung about all of these things, at that point it's just sort of like, whatever, just wear the ribbon, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. like great,
she's
you're
the one.
dressed?
Yeah, she's the one that it's just sort of like, I'll take it. Fine.
It's like, that's great. It's like, Chandler, your tuxedo's ugly. Whatever, let's go. Like,
and is his tuxedo ugly,
good.
or is it just the 90s? That I had a little trouble with that on this rewatch.
It's hard to
just
tell.
the 90s. It's definitely just the 90s.
Because I think
Yeah.
men's fashion did kind of like blow chunks in the early 90s.
It's just the vest pattern. It's just like,
it's weird.
What?
It's very weird. Yeah.
What are we doing? When I can't remember what I think we were just hosting like a Friends like sort of live variety show, Jamie and I, and Jamie was dressed as Chandler in the pink bunny costume, and I put together frantically this Phoebe look. Basically, I didn't have a dress, but I had like a yellow shirt and like a huge Christmas bow. Like did my hair like her because I was just like, well, that's a good one to do. Like that's something that like you'll see visually. You see yellow and like a big Christmas ribbon,
and
we'll be able to understand what
it sells. It sells,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's just everything. Every line that happens in the episode is like you watch it and you're like, oh right, all of these jokes are from the same episode.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
It's like watching certain Simpsons episodes, you know, where you're like, oh yeah, all of these jokes are in this one 22-minute chunk of TV. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what's always wild. It's sort of like, wait, this comes from this episode? Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
And whether you've seen the full episode or not, based on the promos that ran on NBC and then all of the syndication, you have seen Joey wearing all of Chandler's clothes. This is ubiquitous.
Yeah. I have a question about, I mean, that made me think about it because he rolls back up and he's literally wearing all of Chandler's clothes. It's a great costume effect of just like layering and layering and layering. I don't know if they literally put many clothes on him or if they had like a big padded suit and put some stuff over it. But regardless, it looks good. It looks like he's wearing one person's entire wardrobe at once. It's a very, very funny visual. My question that I thought of, because you have characters going in and out and many costume changes, just like you'd be watching a play, seeing someone go out, they probably had a bunch of stagehands helping them. Do you think this was all kind of filmed at once, or did they do a lot of pauses for these costume changes? Because it does feel like it's edited to be real. I mean, it is definitely edited to be real time. It feels like they just shot a play, which is good, but
I know
if they're good enough editors, it's going to feel like that regardless. I don't know if either of you have any idea if they would have just filmed all of this straight away or not.
Nobody talked specifically about this episode, but when Bright was talking about the bottle episodes, he said that they usually saved a day of production time or of filming, which is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I guess, you know what, they definitely had to have stopped when Joey was doing the chair stunt when he injured himself. And I think I read they did it like 3 different times. So I guess they are cutting and things like that, but probably still trying to keep it on track and wrap it as possible. Right. So like with something like Joey putting all of Chandler's clothes on, they probably were pretty quickly doing all of that. Yeah. It wasn't like it was a second day where they could prep in the morning for it or something.
Yeah, I would assume that they probably were trying to still do quick changes, still do everything as to time as you can.
Yeah.
It feels so seamless. It's sort of like breaks your brain to even think about them pausing for a second. Like it just feels like you're watching something live.
Well,
yeah.
Like it just feels like you're sitting in an audience watching something live. It's very seamless. It's very insane.
And I feel like, we know enough about theater magic. Like you can do quick changes even when they look that elaborate. There's fun magic you can do. And I think that this is this would be a great episode for someone to recreate on the stage. I think that this would be a hoot to go see for a charity or something.
Yeah, totally. I was just sitting there watching the episode and it's just like, I just couldn't, I can't physically stop myself from saying every line. Like, it's just sort of like doing this weird, like, it's like a weird vocal tick and I can't get out of the loop of it. Like, it's like.
This is a well-written episode. I truly and honestly.
Yeah, it's great.
The conflict with Ross and Rachel ends with Joey making the suggestion that Ross drink the fat.
I like that full circleness of this episode. That's very clever.
Yeah.
Me too.
And he's going to do it.
But it's kind of why, because of that callback and that full circle, that I really don't think that we need the tag of the chair thing with a new guy. Agreed. I'm like, we already did it. We already wrapped it up.
Right.
He was going to drink the fat. You were going to drink the fat. Like, we don't need another one.
True.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
We don't need to see this one man who we don't know or care about fight with Chandler. Like, it's
the
fine.
end of episode tag. It is really a letdown, which is if this could be a perfect episode of Friends, And this is what really holds it back. And I think it makes other bottle episodes / chamber pieces so much better because they don't have this error.
It's not just the fat that comes full circle, but then after like Rachel comes out in her like sexy dress, she has the going commando callback too, where she's like going commando in a sexy way now, you know? It's like, they wrap all of it up. You're right. Because the only joke that the tag calls back to is just Chandler. Apparently now he's just obsessed with anyone sitting in his seat. That's just a character tick they've given him, I guess, at this point. And it's just not funny enough to justify it.
No.
But also it's sort of weird because at a dinner, that is his seat.
Yes.
So it's like,
that's a good point. They're probably assigned.
But that is his seat. It probably has a name card.
Yeah. And
So it's still like, that's what was really driving me crazy today watching it. Like, I was like, but that is Chandler's seat. You shouldn't sit there, weird man.
Yeah.
Like, you can sit there for a second and talk to Ross. That's normal. That's what anyone would do at anything. But like, that is his seat. Like,
so wild.
And when the person comes back, you go, oh, excuse me. And then you walk away.
Yeah. Oh, so sorry. I'll get out of your seat for you. And then you wouldn't even need to put it in the show because it wouldn't be funny. And you would be like, that was pointless.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man.
It's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah. The only other observation that I had that I made, this has like barely anything to do with anything. It's just because we talked about like, what if this show was a Fox show or whatever? And I did notice watching it this time with that in mind, like... if this was like a Married with Children audience, like when Rachel came out in her dress, the audience would be like wooing, like woo. And I do feel like the audience for Friends tended to be pretty restrained. And it's like, if they needed a dramatic moment, they would be silent. And so many other sitcoms there would not be like that.
That's true.
Which I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
It is. One of my favorite things is when Phoebe gets the hummus on her. What gets out hummus? That whole string. What gets out hummus? And then Monica, you know what gets out hummus? If it is a new message, what is he calling to say?
Excellent. It's excellent.
Like just all of that. And you picture it written out and I'm like, that's hilarious on the page. It's hilarious in practice. Like it's so funny and so well structured. And so just the beats of everything. And it really does require everyone to be perfect, everyone to be on it, you know, everyone has to be in it. They have to be delivering their lines at the same time. They have to be, you know, it's just, that's what makes Friends great. Those moments like that, where it's just kind of like, see, there is something magical going on.
Truly. Yeah.
And we're watching it right now.
Television's so cool.
It's so delightful to have jokes.
Have more than one camera. It's what a good time.
Any other final thoughts about this fun little bottle episode?
It's a great episode. It's also a fun. I like that this started a tradition for them, whether it was for cost savings or for fun.
Yeah.
I like that these kept happening. There's some of the greater episodes in the rest of the series.
Yeah, it's a good hang. It's like
totally.
I don't know. That's all. I'm not expecting that much more if I watch like an episode of Friends. If it's a good hang, that works for me, and it totally is.
Like I just watched it 2 hours ago, whatever that was, and I'm like, I could close my computer right now and go watch it again.
Yeah.
And I would still be like delighted. It wouldn't like lose anything for me.
Sure.
But it's probably the episode of Friends I've watched the most.
Sure.
Just because it was on that weird DVD and then it was, you know, and I just kept watching it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I might just go watch it again.
You should. We should all do that. Erin, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much for joining us for this. We could not have had this robust discussion about Friends without you. Can you please tell our listeners where they can find more about you or follow you online if you'd like to share that?
I am everywhere. What if I was like, no? I'm everywhere at Erin Mallory Long, which is a phrase I haven't said in a long time. Yeah, I'm still kicking around, doing stuff. I don't do a podcast anymore regularly, which I do miss, but you can always still listen to old Best of Friends episodes.
You really can. I listened to the one about this episode. I re-listened to it. I was like, I do think that when I finished you and Jamie's first run, I was like, I could listen to this podcast again. And then by then I had discovered podcasts and I was like, well, there's no place to go now. I can't listen to a thing again now.
There's nowhere to go.
But thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for having me. This was so fun.
And folks can find me online anywhere as Dmuma, that's D-M-U-M-A. And I host a couple other shows here on the Glitterjaw Podcast Network. With my friends Marilee and Tyler, we talk about horror media of all types on Fear Coded. I have a podcast called Are You My Mother, where we talk about moms in media. And then with my friend Hamish Steele, we talked about all of the appearances of Mario on television and film on Super Mario Moment. Derek, what about you? Where can folks find you and the great things you're up to?
Sure, you can find me most places at Derek B. Gale. We mentioned The Simpsons quite a few times in this episode. I do have a podcast called Lee Carvalho's Potting Challenge, where my friend Tommy and I are going through the Simpsons tie-in video games. We have done all the console ones at this point, where we're branching out into some weird things and mobile games and stuff like that from there. So if you like The Simpsons and you like video games or one or the other, definitely check that out. We've got plenty of history of The Simpsons and video game history on that podcast. I host a few other shows. I also have Walloping Web Snappers, where we look at every Spider-Man cartoon ever made, Screonk, where we go through the Godzilla films, and Falling with Style, where we have been through the Pixar filmography.
Gimmicks is a proud part of the Glitterjaw Queer Podcast Collective. If you're looking for other queer media podcasts, check out the full roster of Glitterjaw shows at glitterjaw.com.
If you want to support this show by giving us a little tip, you can buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/gimmickspod. You can also follow this podcast at gimmickspod on Blue Sky and Instagram, and email us your questions, feedback, and corrections to gimmickspodcast@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe on all your podcast platforms. And until next time, friends, keep being weird.
So let me know. Or don't, whatever. I'm breezy.